Coming up, could Disney be making a special presentation featuring the Silver Surfer? Tim Burton also doesn't want to be working with Disney anymore, and also some news on Ice Age, plus much more. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It is Monday, it's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off talking about Marvel, because according to Cosmic Circus, there is going to be another new special presentation coming, and it's going to be called the Silver Surfer. And this is going to kind of be almost a prequel to the Fantastic Four film, which maybe indicates that we might end up seeing Galactus in this brand new film. Now, the interesting thing with this special is it's kind of going to follow on with what we saw with Werewolf by Night, where it's kind of a single, like, extended episode, not quite a movie, not quite a series, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of these in the future as Disney starts kind of trying to cut back on some of the things it's spending on Disney Plus now that it's fully launched, and also maybe a little bit of feedback that they've kind of been making too much stuff. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing more of these. There's been rumours of a Nova one. We saw the Werewolf by Night, and then we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special coming up pretty soon. So this one definitely sounds interesting. Again, nothing has been officially confirmed. It's still very much in the rumour territory, but I think there's a lot of scope to this one. Apparently it does have to be released before Fantastic Four because it is going to be set in space. There's not going to be any other characters or anything else introduced in this one. It is purely just being done to introduce the Silver Surfer into the MCU. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think this is something that we could end up seeing on Disney Plus in the future, or would you rather just be introduced with the Fantastic Four? Or do you think it could even be a series? I don't think there's enough there for that. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about Tim Burton, because he has been speaking at the Lumiere Festival in Lyon, France over the weekend, where he spoke about his work with Disney. Now, he's worked with Disney on a number of different projects, including Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, and his most recent content that he created for Disney was Dumbo. He said it's very unlikely that he would ever do a Marvel movie. He said, I can only deal with one universe, I can't deal with the multiverse. And he said that he's had some pretty bad experiences working with Disney, with the last film he worked on being Dumbo. He said, my history is that I started out there. I was hired and fired like several times throughout my career there. The thing about Dumbo is that's why I think my days with Disney are done. I realized that I was Dumbo, that I was working in this horrible big circus and I needed to escape. That movie is quite autobiographical at a certain level. Now, let's not pull any punches here. That's pretty bad. Him basically saying he was Dumbo and he doesn't think he's going to work with them. I mean, he's very established in his career and he doesn't really need to work with Disney anymore. It's a shame because he makes some fantastic films. But also now Disney has kind of focused on so many different things. He's maybe kind of not considered the main thing now that they, when they put out some movies before, that was all they had. Now they've got so much other stuff with Star Wars, Marvel, and he doesn't look like he wants to play in those areas either. Like I said, he's done some amazing work with Disney, but it doesn't look like he's going to be doing any more. But let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about Ice Age, which celebrated its 20th anniversary over the weekend, and Disney celebrated that by putting 6 new avatars of the characters from the films on Disney Plus. You can go into your profile settings and you can now pick from a number of different characters, including Sid, Scrap, Buck, Manny, Ellie, and also Diego. I think it's great that these have been added in, and it kind of really shows that Disney's got a lot of faith in Ice Age. They're really kind of going in on this. We've seen the Ice Age Adventures with Buck Wild. We saw the Scrap Tail shorts, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing lots more of this. They're definitely, I think, viewing this as a big franchise they can continue to use. But are you going to be picking one of these ones? Let me know. I mean, Sid just kind of shouts out that he needs to be made into a profile picture. But let me know which one you're going to be using in the comments below. Disney has also announced over the weekend that the biggest Hindi film of the year, Brahmāstra Part 1 Shiva, will be heading towards Hulu in the United States on Friday the 4th of November. And it's also going to be available on Hotstar in India. And with Hulu, there's going to be an English dub version, which will be available for the very first time. We do know that the film will be coming to Disney Plus in other areas around the world, but we don't know the date. It could be announced anytime soon. I suspect it's going to be the same date, because if they're going to be putting it out on Hulu and Disney Plus Hotstar in India, those are the two main markets. It makes sense to put it everywhere. But are you going to be watching this one? I mean, it kind of looks pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to be giving it a go, especially with having a dub version. That's exactly the kind of things I can enjoy, because it just looks amazing in terms of the amount of special effects. So I want to be able to watch it. So I'm going to be checking that one out when it arrives on Disney Plus at some point. But let me know if you are in the comments below. Over the weekend, Disney has also announced a new multi-year deal with Formula One that will bring new Formula One content onto its platforms in the United States. It's a multi-year deal. It's going to be bringing more direct-to-consumer content, which is now included in the deal. So we'll be seeing stuff on ESPN Plus. No mention of Hulu or Disney Plus, but they do want to expand out to other areas, which just could open it up for maybe a potential, you know, thing that they could do. They've now going to have the rights to do so, and I think it's very smart of them to put out a press release without Hulu in there, considering what the future of that app is, we don't know. But yeah, so we could see some Formula 1 stuff arriving somewhere, but if not, you can find it on ESPN Plus. And as usual with sports stuff, it's much more difficult in terms of global releases because just generally there's licenses and they get licensed out in different countries. But yeah, definitely cool to see Disney picking up this sport. And finally, let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. If you're here in the United Kingdom, we got a new episode of The Walking Dead, so I watched that one this morning. As per usual, lots of zombie killing. Really enjoyed that one. And obviously we'll be getting a new episode of Bleach later today. Just a quick note as well, this one launches a little bit different because it launches around the world at the same time. So it's 8:30 Pacific time, which is normally about 4:30 in the afternoon UK time. It's actually about like 2 o'clock in the morning in Australia. So just be aware of the timing. There's also a brand new episode of Dancing with the Stars, which will be live later today on Disney Plus in the US and in Canada. And also speaking of Canada, yesterday they got new episodes of numerous animated series, including Family Guy, The Great North, and also The Simpsons. It's great to see Disney Plus in Canada kind of getting Sundays as its kind of animation days, and that's pretty cool. So I asked you in today's poll, which Disney Plus original are you looking forward to watching this week? Where I gave you the option of The Mysterious Benedict Society, Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, Star Wars Andor, or The Mighty Ducks Game Changers. And everyone seems to be looking forward to Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, which is good because I really enjoyed that series. Also very interesting, everyone mentions Bleach in the comments of what, and that one's not really a Disney Plus original, but I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. And in our comment of the day, JT Sam said, my 3-year pass is over in November, and for me, I just don't think there is enough that I want to see to keep me. Now I found that's quite interesting with the idea that you don't think there's enough on there to watch. There's some great shows coming out. We've got things like the Santa Clauses, we've got National Treasure, but I definitely think if you're on a 3-year deal, you've been in the US, and I can see why Disney Plus in the US isn't as enticing. Here in the UK with so many different shows, we got so much coming up. It's now, you know, my main thing that I watch all the time. And that's not just me being biased, but nevertheless, there's so much stuff on there. But I can understand why. What I would say to you is, rather than maybe taking out a year one, maybe try a monthly one. You are going to have that ad tier coming in in just over a month. So if you're thinking about getting an annual pass, do it in November, where you're going to be able to lock in that price before the price rise kicks in, and with the ad tier. So I would recommend, if you're going to make a decision, you want to do that one pretty soon. But I think a lot of people coming out to this 3-year deal coming to an end, which they all were able to get at the D23 Expo back in 2019. There's a reason why you've not been offered another deal, is because they want you to pay the new price. You know, you've been getting them really cheap for a long time, and now, unfortunately, they now want your money, which is not surprising, really. I mean, I think it worked out about like just under $4 a year, and if you manage to get the Verizon offer with it, even less. It was a really good deal. But yeah, there's a reason why they're not offering anything like that again. And if they were to offer a 3-year deal, I think it'd be a lot more expensive than it was back then. But nevertheless, let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.